There is a comfort the body was promised before it had words for the wanting. It arrives before memory, before language, before the self was old enough to know what it was reaching for. When you have Lilith in the 4th house, she is pointing at that reaching. She is pointing at the place where the body first learned that the comfort it was owed was not coming. Before you understood the meaning of what was missing, there was only a moment. The moment the body reached and found nothing there. Not violence, not declaration. Something quieter and far more permanent. The footstep in the hallway that carried the wrong answer. The voice that arrived without warmth. The door that opened and brought no relief with it. And the body, faithful and small, did what it has always done. It began to listen. Not in language, in breath, in the tightening of the shoulders, in the waiting, in the quiet calculation. Is today safe? Will this moment hold? How long before the warmth disappears again? The body received this teaching the way a crack spreads through porcelain. Almost invisibly at first, until one day you can no longer remember the vessel before it carried the fracture. Some bodies answer by searching. They spend a lifetime reaching toward every flicker of warmth, every relationship, every city, every promise of finally arriving somewhere that will not ask them to leave. They let people in too quickly, too completely, not because they do not know better, but because the hunger is older than knowing. And something that has been starving long enough will eat from any hand that offers. Other bodies answer with the opposite incantation. They stop unpacking, stop expecting, stop allowing anyone close enough to witness the place where the wound still breathes. They become fluent in self-sufficiency, not because they no longer long for solace, but because longing itself became the most dangerous thing they owned. Two different spells cast over the same unanswered prayer. One keeps reaching into arms that were never safe enough to hold it. The other builds walls so ancient they have forgotten they were ever doors. Both are still listening. For the footsteps. For the answer to the question the body should never have needed to ask. Am I safe here? Will this warmth stay? Or will it disappear the moment I finally let myself believe in it? This is the mountain when Lilith stands in the 4th house. Not simply that your childhood was uncertain, not simply that the comfort was withheld. Something older and quieter than either. The belief, written into the flesh before memory began, that solace was never truly meant for you. That warmth belongs to other people, visible through windows, witnessed in rooms you were never invited to enter, present in the tender gestures between mothers and daughters, in the easy laughter of those who never learned to listen for the footsteps. Peace is always temporary. Warmth always disappears. To rest completely is to invite the loss you have always been preparing for. And so the mind, ever faithful to the wound, built its altar here too, laid the longing upon the stone, offered the hunger for solace as tribute, in exchange for the only thing that ever felt safer than wanting it. If I never truly rest, I will never be caught unguarded when it is taken away again. This is the shadow. Not because the longing was ever wrong, but because somewhere in the marrow of you, solace stopped feeling like a right, and began feeling like a grief you were never meant to recover from. And here, exactly here, the initiation begins. Lilith does not come to offer you what was missing. She asks you to walk backward through the hunger, through the reaching, through the walls, through every moment you let someone unsafe inside because the longing was louder than the warning. To the body that existed before it decided that solace was something other people were born deserving. This is not punishment. This is a summoning to stop feeding the hunger from hands that were never safe enough to hold you. A call to stop mistaking the walls for the protection they were always pretending to be. And beneath all of it, a pull toward the truest freedom there is. Not the absence of longing, not the end of the reaching, the discovery that what you have been searching for was never outside the body that has been searching. The choice to stop looking away, the choice to see what Lilith has been pointing toward all along. You can keep reaching into arms that ask too little of themselves and too much of you. You can keep building walls that call themselves wisdom, or you can turn toward the question the body has been asking since before it had words, and finally allow it a different answer. But if you stay, if you choose to ask the questions that remake you, when did you first learn that the comfort your body was reaching for was not going to come? What have you let inside the walls because the hunger was louder than the warning? And what becomes possible if the solace you have been searching for in every room you've ever entered finally began with the one who has been searching? Because Lilith has never asked you to forget where the wound first opened. She has only ever asked one thing. Are you willing to believe that what was withheld from you was never a reflection of what you deserved? Because the moment you answer, the listening begins to soften, the shoulders begin to lower, and the place you spent a lifetime searching for begins, quietly, to take root in the only ground that was always yours to tend.